all messages. Yep. All right. Let's choose up here. Come on, get in there. Why don't you want to fit in? Come on. There we go. Hey Elijah, what's going on, mate? Try and get this in that spot. Hopefully it'll stay. And let's move some of this stuff out of the way. That stuff's got to go to Daryl when he's down here next, hopefully in about 2 weeks' time. Who's up for lobotomy? G'day, Chuck. Soup. Huh. Actually, I'm not. No, I was just thinking, I might do some soup for tea tonight, but I don't know. Don't know if I feel like it. At the moment, I have no bloody idea what I feel like. But let me spin this around for a sec, so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Kind of. And it seems like one of my power packs has died, so the other light's not working. And I need to find, not this case, because that's my photography long range gear. I need this one. So I did build one for a class that we did. And we had it sitting there, and no one picked up on it. At all. Nobody picked up what was in the case. Well, what was on the side, I should say. But I need to grab it out. This has surveillance gear in it. Legal surveillance gear. But I need to work on a better way of holding this. Anyone up for coffee? But looks like someone's been drinking out of a coffee. And it looks just like a coffee cup. But it's not. It actually has, and this was quickly done before the class. Is trying to. No, that's stripe. Huh. Someone just put in an order. Now, this has an ESP32 camera in it. You can stick an SD card, the small SD card in there, and save footage from it, but it's actually a video camera. And what this does is it actually puts out a Wi-Fi signal, so you can connect to it with your phone or your computer, and then you sign into it using its address, and you can see the live footage that this is showing. And we had this sitting in a class. You can kind of see, if you look closely, you can see where I marked a hole in it for the lens to shine through, which is actually dropped down, because this was just taped in there. It's not the best, that's why I want to build a better one. But we had it sitting there. And the good thing about the class was, before we started, they asked if we wanted a coffee. So they went off while we were getting all of our equipment out, getting it all set up for the class, and come back with a coffee. They had one of these cups because they went to a cafe around the corner. So they come back. I didn't get a coffee, but Daryl did. And the exact same cup. So we were also a little bit scared that we were going to throw this one in the bin. But they didn't, luckily. But we had it sitting there on the side. I had Daryl's coffee cup and this one sitting next to it. And no one picked up on that it was actually a camera at all. Which is kind of funny. But they're all looking at like, why we packed up and why we unpacked a coffee cup. When we told them about what it actually is. Because they're like, oh, can you show us that coffee cup? Put it away in the kit. Like, what are you doing with the coffee cup? It's like, oh, no one picked up on that it's actually a camera. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, it has a ESP32 camera in there. I have two of them. I got another one in that case that I just put away. But I need to work out a better way of mounting it in here. The other thing is that these have a bit of weight to them once you put a battery pack in. So you put a small little USB power pack, chuck it in the cup, plug the camera in, and you're going to have this sitting somewhere. So it does record the footage if you have an SD card saved, or you can watch it live. But if you had this sitting up on a shelf somewhere, like that, lens pointing towards an entry point with a pin code machine, like pin code to get in, and you just have that recording. Sooner or later, you're going to pick up someone typing in a pin code. They're not actually going to think and go, wait, is that coffee cup a camera? Because it looks like it's been used and it's disposable. Excuse me, may I use Indonesian? The only thing I remember in Indonesian is bike saja, I think it is. I did start learning Indonesian at school, but forgot it. Bahasa Indonesia or something like that. So yeah, no one's going to notice it's actually a hidden camera. Especially if you get disposable ones and then you drink a coffee. So it actually has marks, and if you're a girl, you can put a little bit of lipstick mark on it. But drink your coffee, take the lid off, let it dry, then you stick it on your disposable coffee cup with the hidden camera. So today I'm going to work on a better mount for this. So I'll spin it back around to the desk, the bench, and we can see what we come up with. And if you've got any ideas, put them in the comments. And also, let us know what you have been working on. What's going on? I haven't been around for a while. I know that. I've barely done any videos because I've taken some time out. Taking some time out. Not just because my football team lost. We played shocking this year. Hey, Grand Fog. Yeah, we played absolutely shocking this year, so we deserve to have lost. Picked up a Bylock a couple of weeks ago. Awesome. Had any luck with it? I got a Bylock padlock over there I haven't been able to get open. That one I have, which I did on one of Lady Lock's lives. Let's untape this because duct tape just doesn't work that well because it allows it to move around too much. Now, I did try double-sided mounting tape as well. Awesome. Is it mastered? Come on. I'm hoping from one cup to another, just in case this one does get damaged beyond use. That's why I did tape it in there. Because, yeah, they're cardboard disposable cups. So they look more realistic because that's what you're going to get from a cafe or, coffee shop or coffee van. And I need to be able to leave enough room as well to stick the... I just ripped half the cardboard out of the cup. Need to leave enough room to fit the USB power pack, which is actually in my EDC bag at the moment. There we go. The other thing I did with this one, that's why I was hoping the double-sided mounting tape would work, that stuff. So I can actually access the top. The only other thing I did with this one, this does have a built-in antenna on your ESP32 board. I'll click that for a sec. Let's disconnect that back. So it does have a built-in antenna, but it doesn't project all that far. You might get a few meters away from it. By adding a antenna to it, the range goes a little bit further. Not a whole lot. Not like, you can sit a couple of blocks away and pick it up. But it does go a bit further away. So these are ESP32, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. I haven't been able to use a Bluetooth on it, but Wi-Fi works. So let's clip this back in. Like that. A wireframe. Alright, thanks for liking. Don't have to stay around, that's fine. So I'm drinking coffee as well because I haven't had one yet. Yeah. The other thing is I need to put a nicer hole in this because the hole I did make, you can kind of see, is kind of big. Let me have a look, see over here for a sec, see what stuff I've got that I can use. Nope. Right, got that mounting tape. I've got Not much, really. Got mountain tape. That's what she said. How'd you know what she said? There's actually no she says around here. Yesterday was my recovery day after flat out week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of work. So I literally just vegged out on the couch to reboot and recover. Because it's been absolutely crazy at work, like full on. And then I've had a couple of orders come through and stuff like that as well. The last of the stock of the authors have gone, I think. I've got another one I got to post off tomorrow, which I got to program tonight. But yeah, the authors, V3s, and captive portals are no longer going to be available on the website. I'm taking them down. And a couple of other products that just don't sell. And then I can replace them with other ones once I work out what those other ones are going to be, because at the moment I have no ideas. If anyone else has any ideas of what they would like up on the website, let us know, because these are the ones that buy them. So if you know what you like and you know what you're after and you know what you want, and if I can make it, it'll be up on the website. I also still got a few bump hammers available as well. I haven't finished off any more at the moment. I've got 2 sitting over there, which one of them so I've got to send up to a mate. Another one's for Daryl. And then I can get stuck on the rest of them for the bundle packs of the bump hammers and the bump keys. Alright, let's see what else do I have laying around here that I can use to mount this camera. Or is tape going to be the only good thing to use? See what I got on the shelf over here. Sandpaper. No, they're antenna boosters for the radio frequencies for the flipper. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to mount this at the moment. Which kind of sucks. I should have thought of that beforehand. Lady Lux! Well, yo. Yo. Yeah, I was hoping that would work on it. Holds up to 1 pound. And an ESP32 camera is like tiny. Wire coat hanger. No. All mine are being used. I mainly have plastic coat hangers. The only couple of wire ones I have are holding up my kilts. Tiwanaka, what's going on? What did she say? No one said anything. There's no she's here. It was about something. I can't remember actually what it was now. I said something. But what we're trying to do, because the old one's just not that good. Thank you so much for the... Thank you. Yeah, the old coffee cup isn't working that well. So I wanted to make another one. What we're talking about, and for those of you that missed the start of the live and just got into here, about the hole in the coffee cup. You you saying that I made a small hole in the no, I won't go there. I've got a dirty mind and twisted sense of humour. Now, talking about a a GK man. What we were talking about is in the surveillance kit we had in the class, where we have some hidden cameras. We've got a little pen, looks like a normal pen. You can write with it, but it's actually got a camera hidden in it. That can take photos and all videos. And we had coffee cups sitting on the side. And the good thing before we taught the class was they asked if we wanted some. Thank you, Lady Locks. Really do appreciate it. You allow me to buy another coffee. I'm already drinking one, but that's just the start of today. So yeah, had it sit on the side. They went and got coffees for us beforehand, and it's in the same cup. But we had it sitting there for the whole class. No one picked up on it. No one looked that closely at it because we just had it sitting there. And it looks like it's been used because it does have coffee stains. Because I actually drank out of it before I made the coffee. A coffee out of it before I actually dried the lid out and then put it on another cup. So it looked real. And when you have the battery pack and the ESP32 camera hidden in it, adds a little bit of weight. So you can just leave it sitting on the side somewhere and no one really pays that close enough attention. We had it sitting there with all other surveillance equipment and no one picked up or even bothered to check to see if that was anything. So it just shows you how you can hide a camera in anything. As I was saying earlier in the live stream, if you had this sitting up on a shelf somewhere or up on the side, pointing towards a PIN code entry for a door, you can more likely, someone's not going to cover the PIN and you can record it and then you know what the PIN is to get through the door. But it's about mounting it in the coffee cup a little bit better than what it was because I literally just gaffer taped it to the side of the cup and it kept sliding down. So I want to be able to mount it in a cup a lot better, but also be able to take it out if the cup does get wrecked. And it has to have what that message was to come up. This lady likes telling everyone. And yeah, have enough room to be able to fit the USB power pack in here as well to power the camera. So that was my hopes for today, and try and get some more content recorded since I haven't done any or done very much in a long time because I've just kind of stepped away from a while. Just I've had no drive to do anything at all. But trying to force myself to get back into it. So yeah, that's why it's been quiet. But anyway, hang on. Do I have anything even similar out here in the shop? Spin yours around, we'll have a look. Something like a wire coating. Actually, I wonder. Wonder if aluminium would work. Got a roll of aluminium because we have that for cutting out shims for people to make some shim padlocks. Because it's thin. The only thing is it's very soft. But it's thin and it does work in a pinch. So I wonder if I can use that. What's Dynasteel? Try to see if we've got anything else ready that we can use. Should have done some shopping. Actually, only because we took this out of our class because it makes a lot of mess and. G'day, Truth Hurts. Is that a Slytherin Stein? No, it's my Slytherin coffee cup. So, funny story, which I'll tell you, which you might have a... Hey, look, Chuck! So, a couple of weeks back, my friend from work / best friend, we were down in Melbourne. We come back from Melbourne and we went out for dinner and stuff like that. Come back, well, had lunch there, grabs KFC, come around and sit around the lounge room. And she's like, "Oh, do you like Harry Potter?" And I'm like, kinda. I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "Oh, because there's the Harry Potter exhibition on in Melbourne." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So she goes, "So do you like Harry Potter?" I'm like, have a look at my coffee cup. I'm like, "Have a look at the shelf over there." Said, "Have a look at my Elder Wand that shoots a flame ball out the end of it." Said, "Have a look at my Slytherin uniform hanging up in the wardrobe." No, I don't really like Harry Potter. So, and I have 2 Elder Wands, but one of them broke. The element snapped off in it. So I ended up buying another one, but replaced the Elder Wand with Voldemort's wand. Or he who should not be named. That actually, shoots flame balls out the end of it using flash paper. So naturally, I did wear some of my Slytherin uniform down to the Harry Potter exhibition. Because Slytherin house. So no, I don't like Harry Potter. Polymer clay. We use it for key casting. I wonder if I can use it to make a mount that that camera would kind of sit on, and then I can just put a piece of tape to hold it up against the edge of the camera. The edge of the coffee cup. Since we did take key casting out of the classes, I was saying, because it was just making way too much mess, and it's really something that you have to be on top of the people when they're doing it, because did show them how to do it, but some of them only put clay on one side of the cast. Some of them didn't squish the cast together enough when they poured the metal in. It went straight through and out the bottom, and I literally had to dig molten metal out of all the plastic shells. We had a heap of clams printed up, which this is the only surviving one left. So we decided to take it out altogether. No, mine don't anymore. They used to have the little table. I only know that because I ordered a family-sized pizza the other week and sat there and ate the whole lot. to myself. Because I'm a pig. Not really, but I do eat 2 trays of chips, cheese and gravy on a Friday. Most of the time on a Friday at work when the cafe's open. And the lady that does in the cafe really loads them up, and everyone gets freaked out because I eat so much. But if I can make it mould to fit into the coffee cup polymer clay, then I can kind of bake it and it'll go hard. So let's see. And that really does my OCD in. Review a message. What's it say? Doesn't say anything, just a heap of squares. So we'll hide that one. Another moderator. Who else is moderator? I can't remember now. I know I've set a couple of people, I just can't remember who. I think James Randolph's one. I think Daryl's one. Oh, this bugs me. Why'd I have to... So... let's see. No, chunks of stuff in it. This mould is a bit softer. So anyone else been working on anything? I know Daryl's been working on a new USB. He's bringing down when he comes down in about 2 weeks with the Swiss Army tool. Oh, dimple locks. Yeah, I don't really pick. I've got dimple picks here. Don't really pick dimple locks only because I don't come across them in the wild. My latest lock stuff I've done was put some lubricant in the lock at work because I've been doing the maintenance in there. I've been in charge of maintenance the last couple of weeks because the main guy's on holidays. So when he's up there, I cover him. Did have to lubricate a lock. It wasn't working. I had to do it to another lock that was a bit seized up. Then I had a Lockwood ES 9000 electric strike fail. Stopped working. And it wasn't locking. Could open and shut the door, and the strike just would not stay locked at all. It was like it for a long time. Couldn't get it to work. I tried resetting everything, nothing was working. So I'll go off to buy a new one, then come back only for the bloody lock to be working again. Which kind of annoyed the hell out of me a little bit. Let's see what's this message say. Potentially inappropriate messages. Yeah, I know. I'll show that one only because it is funny. Why did I say another moderator? Just unless it is me, I don't know. My mind isn't that childish. I'm just trying to soften it up. Down. So yeah, that really David. So yeah, that was really annoying when you go and bloody buy a brand new lock, and they're not cheap either. To replace or buy a new ES9000 electric strike, and then yeah, they're not cheap. So you go back and the bloody thing starts working again. But I've got it just in case now because yeah. So the door originally wouldn't open, and I go down and have a look. I'm like, who hit the bottom of the door frame? They're like, what? And I'm like, it's got the main door, and there's like a little panel next to it with some glass in it. And I'm like, have a look at the door frame. So it's sitting like that. So I used my heel and kicked it, so I went back in. It slid across like someone's let the door hit, or hit the bottom of the door frame, and it's pushed it out. Well, that's why the door wasn't opening. But now it's all fixed. Laughing but also crying. Check the photo I just posted to the Dragons Lair. Wait, what photo is this? Because I think it was G Keyman had a horrible photo of me. Now she's nice and soft. Hands on a $50 lock, get it open in minutes. Yeah, that's because of tolerances. Really, really bad tolerances. Can make it so much harder. That's what she said. Check the height of this. No, that needs to be higher. This also had a bit more weight, so it feels better. Don't trust those locks, whatever you do. Like the top security disc detainer locks that you can get from the cheap stores. And as I was showing in the video, stick a screwdriver in the end of it, pop the metal cap out, pull the actual core out of it because they're only plastic, and then you can knock the ball bearings out and the shackle falls out. How hot does polymer clay have to be before it sets, I wonder? That might be a bit too high now, but what I can do is press that down. Delbert, what's going on? That would hold that in place. Enough room to plug that in. If in doubt, use clay. Bloody hands too big. Fingers are too big to. Kind of reminds me of seeing Ladylock's pic with giant ass fingernails. Although I have been sending you some really funny yeah, thinking I have to support the camera. I don't want to take up too much of the coffee cup room because I've got a battery pack that goes in there. Yeah, Ladylocks, what do you thought of the Australian videos I sent you? Hide that antenna at the side. That would work. That would mount into there, and then all I have to do is put a bit of tape across when we put it in. Just put a bit of tape to hold it in place. So he's sticking to it because the clay is sticking to the side. That's what she said. 2 inches long and about half an inch wide. Who told you my dimensions? That should work. Then we'll have to cut this out of this cup. Good thing I've got spares. So I can, yeah. Where's some scissors? Or even better, a knife. Where are we? That should work. And it's okay. More common than it's no. I said to someone the other day, I'm like, I said I'm a bit worried about seeing about having going and seeing my psychologist, because she might fix me, then I won't be as funny anymore. So that one is like, what do you say to people when you welcome them into your life? Like, buckle up. Turns out that's not the answer. I should have actually just cut a piece of the bloody cup out first. Alright, now very carefully. Maybe I should put some baby powder on here first. smooth this out a bit. Shit off, ball pick. Yep. Yeah, I kind of gathered that. I just wanted something that's a bit more permanent. We'll sit in there. All I have to do is bake this in the oven till it sets. And then I can just transfer this into a cup, put a piece of tape behind it, hold against the wall, and we're done. Template for more. There is that possibility, but yeah, I wanted something that I can stick the camera in, and this will kind of be able to be transferred into any style of disposable coffee cup. And now, here's how you make a... No. Here's how you make a penis. Bloody birds on the roof. Alright. Exactly. And the other thing is, if you know, let's say that's why I wanted like something like this that's portable into other cups, other styles of cups. Because if you doing a pen test, you're casing a joint, you're watching. If there's like a regular coffee van or a coffee shop that people go to, and they actually have their own logos on a coffee cup, you can then go in there, purchase a large coffee, takeaway, drink it, dry the cup out, stick this camera in there with a little hole for it to see through. Chuck your battery pack in there. You're good to go. And then you're going to have something that, yeah, as you Chuck Soup saying, have something that will fit into different locations. Because, yeah, some coffee shops use generic cups like this. Other ones use ones with their labeling and branding and stuff like that. The other good thing about these is if you have weight in the bottom of the cup, such as with like a polymer clay mount and a battery pack, if someone does knock the camera, knock the cup, it's not going to just fall over. Or if they're going to try and pick it up, they'll feel there's a bit of weight in there and put it back down. The only other way you can get around that as well, if you've got a big enough cup, you can kind of put another cup in the top and put some liquid in it, as long as it's sealed, so that nothing gets down. But then you can literally have like a bit of coffee in a thing at the top. So if anyone does pick it up and they go, oh, it's got a bit of weight in that, and they look, they can see there's coffee and there's nothing hidden. Can't see underneath. So it gives you a couple of possibilities. Minimize. Well, the minimum distance I can work with is the size of the battery pack. The pack I have is in my EDC kit. And it's about that big. So one of the cylinder one's about that big. And I've also got, where that would bend, that much room I can take up in a cup. So you are, in a way, slightly limited to the size cup you can use, because you need to, as I was saying, fit the battery pack, the antenna, your lead, and everything in there. So I'll show that one as well, Chuck. Yes, you can. But yeah, I just want it. So you are limited to a certain extent, but also not. The other thing as well with using a disposable coffee cup. Yeah, that's the smallest one that I can find at Kmart. So the other good thing about using disposable coffee cups is people don't check them. So if you walk into a place that has metal detectors and stuff like that, you take your stuff out of your pockets and you put it on a belt in a tray, and they put it through the X-ray machine, and then you walk through, and then they wand you down. They don't check inside coffee cups. Which, if there's security guards watching this, check inside coffee cups, because they don't. So you can have this in your hands and you walk through with it, and they'll wand you down and everything like that. And yet there's metal in it, but if you wear rings and they wand you, they are, oh, sorry, it's my rings. They're not going to go, oh, wait, what's in your coffee cup? Is it actually coffee? So, yeah, that's a good way to kind of use disposables, is they don't check them even though they really bloody should. So, yeah, if you are a security guard watching this, check your coffee cups that come through your workplace if you have to wand people down. So, yeah. And we know this because we've tested it in a legal way. Like when we were training security guards, and they learn to wand you down, we would hide stuff in band-aids, and stuff like that, so they would wand over you, and some of them would pick it up and others wouldn't. The mini escape rates that I built had them hidden in a band-aid under the arm, and they never picked up on them. So, yeah, people need to be more thorough in their pat-downs and checks. But this is why we teach this stuff. This is why we test people. It's because it may look innocent, but it might not be. Like my rings, they look innocent, but 2 of them are RFIDs. A pen might not be a bloody pen. I'll grab my case and I'll show you. I did accidentally break the clip off this. It's a pen. You can actually write with it. So it is actually a pen. And the clip did break, unfortunately. But if you look closely, pull that down, it's actually got a little hidden camera in there. This does record audio, records video, and you can take photos with it. It's rechargeable. You unscrew that, and you can plug a micro SD card into there, which I haven't got one in there. But looks like a pen, works like a pen. If I hadn't have accidentally snapped off the clip, you can have that sitting in your shirt. You know, you got a couple of pens in your pocket. Have this one sitting in there with that down like that. And when you walk through a building, you can actually record video footage of what's going on. But there are legalities when it comes to recording and stuff like that. So don't do anything illegal, because we always say keep it bloody legal. Know the laws in your area when it comes to video capturing. Public places out in the public is fine here. So if you're at the park and stuff like that, you can video. If your kid's playing sports, sometimes I put up on my Snapchat when my son plays soccer, futsal, and stuff like that, videos and photos and stuff like that. That's okay. But yeah, recording, different story. I have a body cam that is in my vehicle all the time. It's just a small little body camera. When I do a job, let's say it's an automotive lockout, just to be on the safe side and everything like that, I will put the body cam on, turn it on, just to record what's going on for security purposes and stuff like that. So yeah, knowing your laws and obeying the laws is very, very important. That's why security cameras, most security cameras around, don't record audio. Here, the Ring doorbells, the camera doorbells, a lot of them are illegal, especially in a lot of states here, because they record video and audio, and you're recording someone's video and audio without their permission. Security cameras in your house and on the outside of your houses are fine because they don't record audio. But because these ones do, then there is kind of some legalities with that. The Wi-Fi cameras, like the one I've got in the shop here and the one I've got inside, security cameras, they do record audio as well. But they're inside my property, so they're not recording anyone outside. And I can speak to them when I'm, say, kids are at home or something, I'm out in the shop, I can check out the security camera and then talk to them through it. So that's fine. It's the legal side of things. Always stick with the legal side of things. If in doubt, consult your local law enforcement agencies or do your research. But yeah, when it comes to pen test jobs and doing what we do teach people how to look for these things and what to look out for. We have bug detectors, and they can actually go around and find where there are hidden bugs, or cameras and stuff like that. So we teach people about them because, I mean, as we always say, keep it legal, do everything legally. There are those that are going to break the law, criminals. They're not going to abide by the video and surveillance and audio capturing laws. If they want to break the law, they're going to. We do not recommend it. When we do it for jobs, we are doing it under the agreements that we have with workplaces that hire us. And even if we go into a building to teach a class, if that is a high security building and they do not allow any video or audio recording, we do not do it. But we still have the equipment there for them to have a look at, and we will turn it on so there's power, but we won't actually have it recording anything because bug detectors only work if there's power, and most of them will only pick up and beep if there's a Wi-Fi signal being sent off for it. But in saying that as well, a lot of the bug detectors that you can get, especially off eBay, purchase one off eBay. They're as cheap can be, some of them. And if you go to a hotel or motel or anything like that, scan around the room. Check the smoke detectors and make sure they're not the ones with a hidden camera in there. Check USB power packs in the walls because some of them have cameras. Check the clocks and stuff like that. Wave the wand over it. If you pick up a signal, could be a camera, or they have the red sensor to them. You flash the red LEDs and the light will flash off a lens and shine back through the red sight that you look through, and it will glow bright. So you can kind of go around, you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting a strong flash off that power pack over there. And then check it and see if it is a camera, because the lenses do reflect. So, yeah. Surveillance, if you follow the right laws, is fine, but yeah. I like to stand in the middle of the room, then moon the room in 360. That's funny. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Pop this case back. Move this out of the way. Stick this over here. That is fine. I'll give you that one. Moon in the room. I personally wouldn't do that, but yeah, just shows you to be careful, be vigilant, look around. You know, if in doubt, suss it out. It's kind of scary how small cameras are becoming these days, and how easily they are to be hidden. Let's take, for example, the body camera I've got. It is small. It's only about the size of a matchbox. And I can stick that in a cup and record footage for quite a while. Can also take photos with it and stuff like that. But it's small enough to be hidden in anything around, to record footage of anything I want, pretty much. But we do follow the laws because there are laws for a reason. The only time we get to break those is when we are doing a job and it's under contract and all parties are in agreement and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now what else to work on? I have to find out what that new order that's just come in is, because I'm not sure. But it's been a little while since I've actually done some picking. So let me find the lock and we'll do some lock picking. Because when I say picking, I mean like just for fun, not work. Let's find something over here. I haven't picked this one in a long time. I've not picked this in a long time. Lock Lab. Pack Lock. One that I actually won off Bosnian Bill. I do miss watching these videos. I have to admit, I do miss watching them. Let's go with this hook. This will do. So yeah, I do miss watching Bosnian Bill. I was actually awake at like 5 o'clock, 5:30 this morning, and watched Lock Noob's latest video. Again, another bloody great guy, Ash. Definitely knows his stuff. And watching the video he did on the terrible Chinese dupe of a of the Comb Peak butterfly knife. That thing was shocking. Absolutely bloody shocking. Let me bring this down so you can kind of see the light. Is that enough or is that too far? Probably a bit too far because I can't actually see the chat. That's a bit better. Yeah, I can see the chat. Yeah, that was an absolute terrible excuse of a copy. That's why you shouldn't copy. Why is this pick not wanting to sit on a single pin? I feel like I keep lifting 2 pins at a time. I think I am. Still here watching. Awesome, GK man. So a lot of my picking these days is quite literally work. So I'm using electric pick guns. Most of the time I'll go for a bypass method first of all. Try and bypass, but otherwise I will try, for example, a rake. Let's just see if it'll work on this. So I'll try like raking the lock because it's a fast entry method. You know, if I was to come across this lock in the wild. Let's say that wouldn't work. I'd use electric pick gun and stuff like that. So I normally go for a rapid access method first. I don't spend much time these days really focusing on single pin picking locks out in the wild. Because no one wants to pay me for being there for an hour. They want me to get them in quick. I just heard everything drop then. I think this pick tip's too big. I need a thinner one. These are only small pins in these. Really funny at futsal the other weekend on the Friday night. The goalie on the opposite team tried to run the ball up halfway up the court. So you got the halfway line and the goal squares like back here. And they got the D in front of it, and you can't go into the D like only the goalie is. So he gets the ball and he tries to make a run down to the halfway line because the goalies can't go past halfway. And my son stole the ball off him and runs as fast as he can with the ball straight up to the D. And he stops for a second, turns around, looks behind him as the guy is in goals is like running back because he's like, "What the hell just happened?" And my son just stops there for a sec, looks back, and then just softly just pops the ball straight into the goals. Like it was hilarious. Like one of the it's like a a lot of people call it a disrespectful goal because you're kind of disrespecting the goalie, but it was bloody hilarious. My son's team won. He ended up kicking like 3 of the goals because he does play strike, but yeah, it was hilarious. A couple of weeks beforehand, after his game, he was filling in for another team for a bit of fun. And the other teams knew, a lot of them never really played soccer before. And their goalie was, to begin with, was just standing there. Didn't even really try to stop the balls, didn't know what he was doing. So my son jumped into goals. And he had to wear this vest to show he was on their team kind of thing. So the vest was like 3 sizes too big for him. But he had it all wrapped up on himself and he was in goals. And I said to him, like, do a runner. He's like, what? I'm like, do a runner. When you get the ball next, stop with your feet, run it up, pop it in their goals up the other end. So he gets the ball, stops it with his feet, takes off up the other end, gets all the way up to their goals, kicks, and they ended up blocking it. And I quickly told him to run back. Then he tried it again, but this time he took his vest off because it was getting way too big and get tangled up on him. And the ref fouled him because he went past the halfway line. That's how we learned you couldn't go past halfway. And he goes, why the hell did you call me that time? I'm like, because you took your vest off. I said, so you stood out. Hey, Sushi. I can pick this pretty easily. So what the hell's going on today? Feels alright. So double click there and felt double click. A little bit of counter there. That's better. Counter rotation again. Come on. I think I may have overset. Sounded like it. Does anyone here follow footy? When I say football, I mean what we call soccer here. I call it football because it's proper football, unlike Australian football or AFL, because most of the time it's in their hands. Heard something drop. Felt it. Heard something else drop then. Oh, Elijah doesn't follow it. Yeah, my team finished 15th this season. Played absolutely shocking towards the end. Liverpool's on top as always. American football. Never watched American football. I've watched AFL. I kind of have an AFL team. I'm an Essendon supporter, but I haven't really watched a game since 1999. I'm a Manchester United supporter, hence the Man U jersey. Unfortunately, my son's Arsenal. And now, according to my two girls, they both go for Arsenal as well. My ex-wife goes for Chelsea. Something's definitely not going on for me today. Felt like a bit more of a false set then, but everything feels set, so I'm not getting any more feedback. Traders. Yeah, well, Arsenal finished second on the ladder again. Chelsea come fourth. I mean, their coach did say at the start of the season that he wanted them to finish in the top four, so they at least got their what he said. Like, that is pretty bloody good. We sacked our coach halfway through the season. Well, just over halfway, because Ten Hag was bloody useless. But really, it's not the coach's fault, it's the people playing. Come on. Need some lubricant. If in doubt, lube it out. One sport I'd really like to get into is ice hockey. Kind of wanted to play it when I was a kid. been ice skating, I'm just not that good at it. That's what she said. See, when it comes to lock picking, anything you kind of say is like an innuendo. Oh, she's a bit dry. I need to add some lube. I need to stick the shaft right into the back. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta lift it just right. Anything you say can be turned dirty when it comes to picking. It's like the looks you get when you're in the shop looking at locks. Like, for example, Bunnings at the hardware store here. I'm looking at a lock, and if they've got something new in, or looking at one of the locks they got, and I'm like, oh, that's sexy. People standing there looking at locks give you the weirdest bloody look. Like you're some kind of weirdo with a fetish for objects. I've picked this lock before, and I've normally done it really freaking fast. So what's going on with me today? So when I was chatting to someone at work, staff member the other day, and talking about something. I said, "Oh, I've got a set of handcuffs up on the bed head," and she goes, "Oh, that sounds like fun." I'm like, "There's zip tie handcuffs." I'm like, "It's what I practice to escape from." I said, handcuffs are fun to escape from. And she goes, "Oh, that's not what I was thinking." Because I turned around and said, "Restraints are fun." But I mean, come on, if you tell people, right, all honesty, if you turn around and say to somebody you're having a chat with, right, or if it's a first date with someone, and they say, "What are you into?" right, and you're really into being an escape artist, right, you enjoy picking handcuffs, kind of like Coxie, right, and you turn around and say, "Oh, I'm really into I really like handcuffs." What are they going to think? You go, "Oh, restraints are fun." They're going to think the wrong thing. Or if you're really into, whip cracking and stuff like that. You go, "Oh, I'm into whips." Like one of the most famous Aussie whip crackers, Nathan Whippy Griggs, I think his name is. People are going to get the wrong idea. And is it a lock fetish? I think I just lost everything again. Can you hear birds on the roof? Right there. Right above my head. Almost sounds like it's in the roof cavity. What is that? Elijah's into whips. Is that right now? It's like they asked me a while ago now to do some whip cracking at work. Go around to all the areas and do some whip cracking and talk about whips and stuff like that with for the residents. So I like to make it interesting for them by doing it some crazy things like the cutting the spaghetti and stuff out of my fingers right down the side of my body, or next to my head, and stuff like that. And by all accounts, a few of the female staff workers got a little bit funny talking about me doing the whip cracking. I heard from one of my friends that works there that was watching, and yeah, they got a bit excited or something about me cracking the whips. Plus, the residents always find it funny whenever I hit myself and I start jumping around and laughing because it stings like oh hell. Especially when you use Kevlar crackers. Okay, my picking is just not wanting to work today. I feel embarrassed. There we go. As soon as I say, finally, shit, that took too bloody long. Way too long. But, as you can see, she's open. Let's lock her back up. Find another one. Ow! Shit, that's my elbow. Actually, I have not picked this one at all. I haven't even tried this lock. I know Blaze picked it. Yeah, it took way too long. I know Blaze picked Dana, or Blaze as she was known, picked this one on a live stream a long time ago, but I've never actually picked it. I haven't even had a go properly trying to pick this. So let's see. I have to admit though, this is a sexy lock. And there's she might be a bit dry. It's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. Oh, she squirted out. some of that lube down in there. So Lady Locks is a way better picker than me. Hello again, GK man. Maybe if I get some long fingernails. And paint them hot pink. Bugger off Telstra. I'd say Tesla then. Oh, this feels different. Feels really crunchy. I'm playing with Discord servers. Ah. Yeah, ours is still out there, the Doubt server. Which is subscription based because it keeps a lot of the bad people out that want to learn stuff that they shouldn't for bad reasons. Which you can access through the website or by becoming a channel member with a second level. Second level gives you access to Doubt Discord server and the extra YouTube member perks. This feels completely different. I wonder if this pick would work. I don't use this one. This was made by Jason Carlson a long time ago now, who no longer does YouTube videos. Same as Southampton Lockpicking Club. I haven't heard from them in a long time. That pick is really thick though. Like, for example, was another in Deviant's one of Deviant's videos. The last one he did was a talk about safes. Was really bloody interesting. Really interesting. I was glued to my screen the whole time watching that. But one of the ones he did about I just pulled the bloody tension wrench out. About accessing or using your Proxmart in your pocket thing using the phone. He talks about hiding equipment on him. For the dress-up party thing, like I think there were cufflinks. He had some jiggler keys hidden in the collar, and one of the parts he lifts up, or fell slight turn the call there, he lifts up his sleeve and shows off the Viking Slim Jim band. And he says he's going to do some videos about hiding equipment. So I'm hoping he does one on the Viking band. He did say he would do a video for me. Since he does sell them. And I've got to get my ass into gear and finish off a lot of 50 for him. But as I said, I've just not been myself. I just complete mental burnout. And kind of stopped wanting to do anything. But yeah, digging video. I mean, playing around with X-ray stuff and radioactive materials. Like, I mean, dude, that guy just what I wouldn't give to be able to do stuff like that. That is the kind of shit that gets me interested and gets me like, oh yeah. Whereas the most I get to play with here are coffee cups. But yeah, learning some of the stuff that he spoke about is just freaking cool. I mean, I'd love to learn safe manipulation, but even more so, I would love. Just don't glow in the end. Yep. I'd love to be able to get or build a auto dialer. I can't remember who it was. One of the YouTubers I know. I don't know if it was the Locksport cast. Don't think it was that channel per se, but one of them was actually working on building an auto dialer, which I thought was pretty bloody cool. Why am I not picking anything up in this lock? This doesn't feel right. I mean, I don't really do a whole lot of... Oh, lock chuck's a bit long. I don't do much with safes. I've got 2 safe dials over there on the shelf. I did get into one safe, like dial safe. Hey Dean. Did you see the design built by Lockman? Okay. No, I haven't. I'll show you. I've got 2. I got the Sparrows. Wait for a sec. So yeah, I got the Sparrows. Sparrows one. Which I'm trying to find what the touch points are. Where are they? Why can't I feel it now? It's okay. That can't be the touch points. 43, 31. Might be. It's okay-ish, but it's not quite as good as it's not as good as a proper safe dial. I think I wrote down on here what this one is. 44. So I did set it. 44, 30, 276, I think. I think it is. Nope, almost gone the wrong way. It's been that bloody long since I played with it. See you, sushi. You can change the code on that. I do have a safe key. This one isn't as smooth as it could be, but it did fall out of my vehicle at a class, snapped the back of the mounts off here, scratched up the top just here. So it's not as smooth as you might think. There we go. Went past it. But she does work. Let me open it up and I'll show you this. Let's grab a screwdriver. But I have had to get into one of these in an in-ground floor safe. people moved into a house and they were told there's an in-ground floor safe. They're given the code, but they didn't know how to get into it. So I taught them how to dial it in. It was hidden in a small little, tiny little spot in the floor in the corner of like this cupboard thing. It was hidden really well. But yeah, you can kind of see your touch points. So your touch points is where the nose sits down that little cut, and you can just feel. I think that's a bit too tight. So what I might do, if I grab a pair of pliers, pliers. I think I did that spindle up a bit too tight. Yeah, they are neat. This one was pretty old. And it was hard for him to. Oh, come on. And yeah, they didn't know how to dial up a safe, never done it before, so I got into it, showed them how to do the. Just gotta get this pin out. Come on. Ah, there we go. Whew, she was in there tight. If I can undo this a little bit, might make that dial a little bit looser. We'll see. That's better. It's a bit too loose now, though. I just need a bit of lubricant. We'll see. Let's put that pin back in. Tap that back in. Come on. See if a little bit of lubricant actually helps this. But unlike in movies, they don't click when you turn the dials. The other thing I learned when it comes to watching that video with Deviant, it was really, really cool. Is what the holes were at the back here. About balances so that vibrations don't cause and stuff like that. Because some safes back in the day just had straight round metal wheels, and vibrations after a while they would all turn and all the gates would line up, which was really bloody cool to learn. The other thing that some people might not know is that when you actually do learn to manipulate safes, you read the back dial first. As you can see, it's just slightly, when you find the touch points, you watch that, the nose of the fence there, it will just slightly move and drop down. And what you do is when you actually feel those touch points, and as you dial in each number and test, when you line up a gate, that fence will drop down a little bit more, so that when you hit the back notch just here, that will drop down a little bit more, and it will be just a hair, not a whole lot. We're talking minute amounts of difference in where the line hits on the touch points on the dial here. So where your line at the top, where your dial to, where it sits down in there, will just be a minute amount difference. Yeah, and the stuff those Polish guys, oh my god, that was so bloody interesting. Really interesting. And now I want to try and track down that book, the Safe Cracker, and stuff like that, because that guy's just bloody awesome to learn about. But let's go and dial this in again. So what I say the numbers were 44, 30, 76. So then you dial up the right one, fence drops down, got a little latch here, which that stops you, if you knock the back cover off, it stops you from retracting the bolt. I only retract when the cover's on, that little arm's out of the way, then you can retract the bolt. But yeah, I would love to learn safe manipulation. I can work out the first number. That's the easy part. It's learning the to crack the other learning to crack the other two numbers that I just can't get. But you know, there's extremes they went through to get in, gather information, to break in and stuff like that. It was just unbelievable. I mean, Deviant is such a it's just something that he's so knowledgeable, and just learning all that stuff was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. The Sparrows one, I can't remember. I think that the dial on this got a bit tight after I accidentally dropped it. I think there's a little bit of a bend, a warp in the spindle. Put a bit of lube behind there, we'll see if that frees it up a bit. Yeah, it feels like there's... Yep. There is a warp. If you look carefully at how close it is here, you can kind of see there's a warp. As lines get further away, and they go in again. So there is a slight bend in that where it accidentally fell out the back of the vehicle. Yes, Steven has a dual... No, he has two chips in his hands. I have rings because I've seen the size of the needle that you got to get in your hands. So I have a low frequency reprogrammable RFID ring, and this is a high frequency, and this is one of the magic key ones, which is the same implant that Deviant's got. So it can do some cool stuff with it. But yeah, I have two. I can't remember the code for the Sparrow safe. Let me see. I think I've got it in the book. Here it is. Got it in this book here. I did print and laminate these charts. So these are what you use to map out and graph out the touch points when you go through each number. And what you look for, I laminate these so you can use whiteboard markers on them and then just wipe it off when you're done. But what you'll want to look for, and this will be an extreme version of it, but you're right where your left contact point is. So let's just say that that is 0. And your right contact point over here is at 5. Not going to be, but let's just say, right? Then you mark in between, so that would be, if you look at your safe dial, 0, so you drop that down here to 95. 0, and you would go 10. or let's say that's 15 actually. 10 or 15. That wouldn't be 15. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Say it's 40, 45. So let's just say that they're numbers in between your two contact points. And then you go through, you dial in your first number. All right. And let's say that contact point stays the same. Get your second contact point, and you move down your graph. And then when your contact point kind of, let's say you get down to about 45, and it goes in a little bit. All right, so it kind of jumps inwards. Then that's telling you more than likely you're going to be in the gate. That's where the number is, because that nose has dropped down a smidgen. And stuff like that. So that, yeah, that's how you go through and you do it for each wheel. I can work out the first one. I can never work out how to do the second or third. But when you do the touch points, you always end up doing the first number you find is usually the last gate, the last wheel, the gate and the last wheel. So then when you work out numbers, you've got to do it in reverse. But on the inside of this, so if you follow the instructions, let's just go let's go clockwise 4 times just to set everything back to 0. We'll stop on 0. Then you want to go 4 counterclockwise, stopping on 25. So counterclockwise 4 times to stop on 25. So you go past 25 once, twice, 3 times, 4th time. We'll stop on 25. 3 clockwise, stopping at 70. So you go past 70 once, twice, 3rd time. Then you go 2 counterclockwise, stopping on 43. So we'll go 1, 2. Then we'll turn it 1 clockwise rotation. I went the wrong bloody way, didn't I? Let's do that again. So I was too busy looking at the chart and paying attention to what I was doing. Alright, 4 counterclockwise, stopping on 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 2 counterclockwise to go on 43. 1, 2. 1 clockwise turn to open. And we're open. Ugh. So, what do you get in the kit? You get a safe change key, which if you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to play around with that. I have one of them on a set of keys inside. Yeah, screwdriver to undo the back of your lock here. You get some spare springs. I've done a review of this. You get a couple of fences. So you get a couple of different ones. So you get a short, a long, you get a short step down. So this one here on the fence here has a step. You can kind of see it where it steps down. See that line in the middle there? That gives you better touch point feel. It drops that nose even more than what a normal fence would. So you can kind of feel the gates a little bit better, or the touch points. And the one that's on it, in here, is actually the 3-step. Yes, never change the combo and close the safe without testing it. Test it a few times. I have changed the code on that other safe dial a couple of times. And always double, triple check before you lock it. So in here, I have the 3-step fence. And you can see that insides is very, very similar. It's just a little, not quite as higher quality as the Sargent Greenleaf. But you can probably switch out the dials. If you get a Sargent Greenleaf dial or safe lock group 2, you can put it in here and use this as a mount. Yeah, 3 to 4, it depends. Most of these that you come across, like these, are group 2s and they're 3. There are certain rules as well that you should follow, because you never want to set a gate in between 2 touch points. And there's certain numbers that you have to be in between for certain wheels as well. I have to admit, I do like the Sparrow's case. But let's see if we can find those touch points. For some reason, these touch points very lightly. See, it doesn't want to turn anymore. Very lightly go back. So that's where my touch points are. So I do not want to set a number between these 2 touch points. Although 43 is right where one of the gates are. Let's pop this back. The next safe that I actually want to get, which I haven't been able to get my hands on one yet, is the fire safe. Because I do have, well, for the Flipper Zero, and the microchip that I've got are used to bypass them. You undo the screw at the front of the keypad, pull it off, stick it in the back, add a power source to it, or that's for the microchip, or you add the flipper um, wires from the GPIO board across and press the button and it unlocks it, resets factory code, and stuff like that. I want to get my hands on one of those fire safes, but I don't want the whole safe. I just want the dial, the keypad, so I can actually use it. But yeah, I'm not going to spend $600, $700 on a whole safe when I just want the dial on the front. So if anyone knows where I can get your hands on one, Sentry safes. That's it, not fire, but they're Sentry safes. Let us know. Because yeah, I'm not spending $600-700 on a whole safe just for the dial or keypad. That's a bit ridiculous. Yep. Except the old school locker combination locks can be bypassed with a shim made from a Coke can. Not saying that we used to do that. We did. We used to, at school, we used to make a shim the one side because there's only spring-loaded locking pull on one side. Shim the lock open. We would then turn the lock back to front. So that the dial was facing the locker, and then it'd make it even harder for the people to dial in their combinations because it would be upside down when they flipped it up and stuff like that to dial it. So, yeah. We used to have fun at school doing that. You've got one G key, man, but you use it. Yeah, I'm after the Sentry Safe front. The whole keypad and battery pack and everything. Ah. Yeah, we want it for classes so that people can have a go using the Flipper Zero and the bypass chip made by Seripic that they very kindly sent me. Every time I lift up on a pin, this whole core lift moves up, but I'm not getting any rotation on the feedback on the pins. No, don't have any scrapyards down here. And the one we do have out at Lau Lau, the guy charges a shite load for anything. He had a couple of really old, busted up door locks. And I asked him how much, and he wanted to charge me for the price of a brand new lock. And I'm like, yeah, no. So, yeah, he charges a fortune. The other scrapyards have shut down. That Sergeant Greenleaf actually got sent to me by Can't remember who it was now. Is that his business card over there? Who was it? No, that's someone else. Maybe I don't have his business card anymore. I did a video when I got it anyway. Like, yeah, Officeworks sells those safes, but they're $600-700, and I'm like, no, it's just something that I can't justify. I have looked on eBay and Facebook, but again, ridiculous prices just for a class, like something to have in the class. Or to do a video on, like spending that much just to do one video is a bit. I'm not made of money, especially at the moment. The business bank accounts is looking pretty bloody empty because I just had to pay for the website hosting service renewal and domain name and all that stuff. And now I've got my business name registration in. And that's not cheap. So, yeah, the bank accounts are pretty empty. Because, I'll admit, sales have dropped right down at the moment. And heard on the radio the other day, and I was driving the work ute, about car thefts increasing here on newer cars. What they're doing is they're using programmers. So they smash a window in the back and get in. They then stick the programmer inside into the port in the car. They then wipe all the keys that are programmed to that car, and they have a new blank key there. These are on the push to start cars because a lot of the newer cars are push to start. They then program that new key to the car, and then they drive off. So they've been found to be doing this within about 5 minutes, just how fast they're getting in, programming a new key, and driving off the cars. And these are like some of the new hybrids and Kias and Hyundais and stuff like that. Oh, some bit of a false set going here. So yeah, pretty quick. All with a programmer. really bloody scary. I mean, I got 2 programmers, but not to do that. I try and avoid automotive when it comes to programming and keys, just because there's so much with them. You can quite easily, if you stuff it up. I do copy some automotive keys, so if you bring me a flip key, the case is all busted up and the buttons are missing and stuff like that, I'll take the internals, switch them across to a new shell. I'll duplicate the key onto the new one, and then take the microchip and implant it across into the new shell so that it's the original key and everything works. I don't try and clone microchips and stuff like that because it's just so much to do, and I send all that stuff off to someone I know that specialises in automotive because it's his bread and butter. He does automotive all day long, so he knows a hell of a lot more than me. He knows what chips are for what and how quick he can quickly, look at a car and determine just by looking at it what chip it needs and stuff like that. I don't have that knowledge. I know how to get into the cars and I can copy some keys, but look at that. Wonder what key pin I was stuck on. It was the front one at the front. There we go. Wait up. There we go. Beautiful. First time picking it. Kryptonite. I beat Superman. I've got a label maker that actually has label maker label on the label maker because you can't have a label maker without label maker sticker. No, label. I've got a little red ball, rebel, black ball. Shit, what is this? Lead extension lead. Z ball, something like that. And half the screen's missing. Why? There we go. Z-ball. This was like $20, I think, or $15 off of like AliExpress. So it's not that good. But you can read and identify, you can copy transponder, manual programming, you can test. It says OBD diagnostic, but I mean, I don't use it for that. Let's see if it'll read my ring. Stick it in there. We'll go read. It says it's reading. Type 13 megamos. WR. So it reads me ring. So look, I might have chip. No, they're grub screws. Yeah, I do have one. Just for a Honda 8E. Yeah, they do think they're full of gold. Come on. This little glass chip in there. See if it'll read through. It should read through the bubble wrap. Let's read that one. Honda H and Aldi meg.crypto2 and it says 8E, which it is. So yeah, you can do a couple of basic clones of chips. Have I actually tested it with a car? No, because I haven't had any that I've had to program doing that one. But I've got that. The other one I've got is SPB Pro 2. Because I don't actually have a cigarette port in here. I can't plug it into power. But this one can plug into a cigarette port, power it up, and this actually plugs in to the OBD port in the car. Then you use this in the car to program the key. Only downside to this one is it doesn't do every single type of key in every single car. It does some of the older models, a lot of the older model ones, but I think I paid $60-70 for this off of eBay. So not too bad, but again, I don't deal with automotive. I try to avoid it when it comes to programming the keys. Not saying I don't have shells and stuff, but yeah. But they're the two programmers I've got. And yeah, when it comes to shells, I don't think I've got any in. No, don't have any in these cases here. Oh, here's one. So here I've got a Holden VE shell and blank. Hey Nola! So this does an Amiga, Barina, SS, HSV, GTS. So yeah, I'll take the battery, the inserts, put them into here. Cut the duplicate the key onto here. Stick your microchip down on the side here from the original key. Put it all together, and then somebody has a working new key to their car using the old parts. So sometimes it works out a lot cheaper for them doing it this way than having to program a whole new key and chips and stuff, because that's where all the money is. There are the mini. There's like little mini, baby something programmers you can get off of AliExpress that do quite a few chips and stuff like that. So you can get some cheap programmers out there if you're going to deal with automotive. If you're looking at like 140 bucks for them, the really, really good programmers that do everything with touchscreens and everything in color and stuff is over $1,000. So yeah, depends on what you want to do and how you're going to do it and stuff like that. But I'm going to go to the shops. I want to do a bit of shopping, get a few groceries for the rest of the week because of work, for lunches and stuff like that. I'll move this back up so you can see me. Now that I'm forcing myself back into everything, I've been out enough lately. I really need to like hyperfixate on some stuff, especially business. Try and get some more orders coming in because, as I was saying, the bank accounts are empty due to all the bills that come in for the business. It's not cheap running a business, I can tell you that now. And then I just get an email Friday from my key supplier that keys are getting increased. So the cost of keys are going up 4%. And stuff like that. So that means I'm going to have to check all the prices on my keys again, and make sure that I am staying up on them. Since the price of ordering them in are going to now go up by 4%. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it does add up. So yeah, that's going to make things a little bit more challenging, business side of things, because the amount of keys that I order in and stuff like that, because of the key sets that I sell. But yeah, I'm gonna do some more videos. I'll get some more content out since I haven't really done much content in the last couple of months. So I'm going to try and fixate on some new content. If you're interested in stuff you want us to cover, want us to talk about, want us to look at, dive into, or anything like that, send your recommendation or your comments in. You can email me at darkartslockpicking@gmail.com. With stuff you would like to see, that you'd like us to cover, you'd like us to discuss, topics and stuff like that. You can check out the website, galp.com.au. As I said, some of the products on there will now be getting discontinued, since they don't really sell. So I'll replace them with something cooler. And what else? Yeah, I got a bit of work to do. I also got to program the author and get that ready to post off tomorrow. But even if you're interested in the de-author V3s, I know I'm still not going to be selling them anymore, but I can do a little bit more of it. I've done a video on them in the past, but I can do a bit more of a dive in for you. I was trying to set it up so that I could run one off my phone, by plugging into the phone and using the web interface. But phones, Androids and iPhones and stuff don't support the web interface for it, which is kind of a bummer, because that means you have to take your laptop around and stuff like that. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions and stuff you want to see us cover or talk about, send them in, let us know, and we will do our best to cover those topics. As I say, Daryl should hopefully be down here in about 2 weeks, with a new USB toy for us, a device for us to play with. So we'll do videos on that, the Swiss USB tool, Swiss Army USB tool, which, from what I've understand from looking into it and watching some stuff on it, it's like a mix between it's a cross between a rubber ducky and a rubber cactus on steroids. Um, so you can do a hell of a lot of cool stuff, not just with testing and finding weaknesses, but with um, diagnostic tools and your security, improving the security. So really, really cool stuff to look into. So yeah, Daryl and I might do a live stream about that stuff at some stage. Get him to do, bring it up and his screen, talk about it, share it, stuff like that. So it'll be some really cool stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, bringing out something new. I don't want to keep doing videos I've done in the past. I don't want to cover stuff I've done in the past. We as the channel, we've changed and grown over the years, from just Locksport to now being a business, to do with everything with physicals and cyber security. But I don't want to just go like, here's kryptonite, pick kryptonite. Here's a mask lock, pick a mask lock. Here's a, it's, like here's the de-author. Here's how to disconnect the device from the Wi-Fi. We're all about education and teaching just new stuff and bringing out new and interesting topics that you'd be interested in. And the only way that we can find out what you'd be interested in is if you actually send it in. Ace Hardware, I think we've got an Ace padlock over there. It doesn't want to stay shut. So yeah, send in your comments, your suggestions, and what you would like us to cover, both physical and cyber security. We do draw the line at some points, and do put some stuff that we would like to cover. We don't, just for ethical reasons. We don't want to go on public platforms such as YouTube here. We do discuss stuff that we don't discuss on YouTube over on our Discord server. So we do discuss some stuff that is pretty cool, pretty interesting, but something that is not really designed for YouTube. Hence why it is a subscription-based Discord server. Because then, yeah, people that, want to get in there for the wrong reasons can't just join and learn some stuff to do the wrong thing. It's all about education over there. And yes, I will get back into our online classes, all this work for that. It's not just YouTube content that's taken a hit over the last couple of months. It's been, everything's taken a hit. I haven't been doing anything except for vegging out. So I will get back into the courses, the online classes and stuff like that, so that we can start getting that ready to be released. There's also a talk with Dale and myself about changing the website to a brand new format, which has a lot more user-friendly capabilities, especially in the back end of the website for us, and allows a lot more interactive side of things. So we can set up discussions on there where we can contact customers and customers can contact us a lot easier. And where we have, for example, we can have all of our products like we've got here. But if you want to do like a bundle deal kind of thing, which we have set up back end, you can add, let's say, the bump hammer, right? If you want to purchase the bump hammer and a set of the bump keys, well, you can put the two together and it will give the price that we have for those two to go together. Better stock management control and stuff like that. So there is talk about that, which means that the website will probably be shut down for about a week for us to switch over to this new system and get everything up and running. But again, at the moment, that's still on the back burner. I will let you know before that happens. It's just because the business accounts have kind of been emptied out with all the bills that come in for it, and not many sales. It's kind of pushed it back a little bit. So yeah, once we get some product sales going and get some funds coming in, then we'll be able to switch over to the new system, which will be so much better, not just for us, but for customers and for our supporters and all that stuff as well. So it's really interesting stuff. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now so I can have another coffee, go to the shops, bake that polymer clay mold thing that we just made. HTML or GTFO? What's that one for? HTML or GTFO? But yeah, as always, stay safe. Remember, keep it bloody legal. As I said, check out our website, dalp.com.au. Send us an email, darkartslockpicking@gmail.com, with your comments and what you would like us to cover. Or you can send a text message. Business phone's up on the website, but it's also in the description down below, which is 0448766600. Even if you just want to call and have a chat at any time. Not any time, because I do sleep sometimes for a little bit. But yeah, if you need to discuss anything, you always can. Reach out. Instagram, Facebook. Don't really go on Twitter much anymore, or what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. I joined and nearly got kicked off. But yeah, or come and join us on our Discord server, which you can get through the second level of the. It's all good. If you missed it, no problems. No, not TikTok. I don't use TikTok. Don't trust TikTok. Shit talk. China is spying on you with it. I do not trust that platform at all. Never will. Won't even let my kids use it. So yeah, you can access Discord server, the private one, through the second level of the channel memberships, or through the subscription through the website, where we do discuss a lot of cool stuff. You can talk to us. Some behind the scenes stuff. We release the product ideas on there before we go live with them. So like the bump hammers, that was up on the Discord server before anyone else knew about it. So get some extra perks on there that a lot of people will find out later on. So you can kind of get first dibs in on that. So anyway, as always, no, not OnlyFans. No, not really. I still got to make Dalp OnlyFans. I've got to find some fans for that and get the Dalp logo put in the center of the little desktop fans and sell Dalp OnlyFans. Completely forgot about that. I'm going to have to look into getting some now. Thanks, Elijah, for reminding me about that. We were talking about that with who was it, Lady Logs? Oh, it might have been Pocket Woman as well. Although Pocket Woman's was the Buzzy, which I gotta get some stuff made up that says Buzzy for Pocket Woman, because that was hilarious. But yeah, heaps of ways to contact us. Reach out. When I get feedback and get people talking, that actually kind of boosts me to be able to do more stuff. Picks my mood up, especially when it's been like below where you can even see lately. So yeah, have fun. Hope you've learned a little bit of something. Hope you've done a little bit of something whilst we were chatting. And I might do another live stream tonight if I feel like it, if I'm sitting around not doing anything. we'll have to wait and see. But till next time, cheers, guys, and have a great day, GK Man, and everyone else that's joined us. Thank you. Not us, me. Catches.